They work in some of the toughest conditions and most remote areas imaginable to uphold the law.
He's gonna run, and I'll probably right behind him.
Showcasing one of the toughest jobs in the world against a backdrop of breathtaking beauty and deadly natural forces.
This is our taxi. This is my patrol car.
That snow machine breaks down, that could be life or death.
Driver, turn the vehicle off!
Armed with their experience, knowledge, and the tools to get the job done, these are the unsung heroes in America's biggest state.
Alaska's wild. Keep your hands out the window, step out slowly. Stand still. Hold the hand. Hold the ground now!
They call it the last frontier for a reason.
You're only, what, a couple miles from Russia?
Stop! Stop! Put it down!
Alaska's my life. It's worth protecting at all costs.
These are the wildest trooper calls, Alaska style. Bethel, Alaska. An outpost among rivers of ice on Alaska's remote west coast. 400 miles from the closest major city, this port town endures winter temperatures of a mind-numbing 50 below zero. This is Wildlife Trooper Mike Cresswell's office.
The area that I patrol is tens of thousands of square miles of forests, tundra, rivers, lakes, and east of here, mountains. There are no roads. There isn't any way to get there unless you're on an airplane or a boat. In the winter, the river is the road, literally the ice road.
Out here, the elements can kill in a matter of minutes.
50 degrees below zero means that if your skin is exposed for any length of time, you're going to suffer injury. It's not that uncommon for people to lose limbs or fingers or even their lives.
As a brown-shirted wildlife trooper, protecting Alaska's natural resources is Cresswell's main priority. But in a region where many citizens disdain the law and are armed with rifles that can easily penetrate a bulletproof vest, Cresswell must be ready for anything.
You're a trooper first. Whatever it is that comes up, whether it's a bear or a fishery or a domestic violence or a suicide. When you're in the field, the expectation is that you respond to whatever situation is at hand.
Today, Alaska's western frontier is in the grips of a deadly storm.
There's a system blowing in from the west right now, and there's a blizzard watch until about 9:30 tomorrow morning. Temperature right now, I think, is somewhere about 20 degrees. It's pretty unpredictable, though, because tomorrow can be minus 40.
But wildlife trooper Mike Cresswell must still heed the call to duty.
We're looking to contact some caribou hunters today on the Eek Trail. We need to be out enforcing to make sure that people are complying with the bag limits. If we run into a blizzard, we're obviously going to return to base.
But 4 miles out of Bethel, they're redirected to an urgent and potentially deadly call.
gun assault in Oscarville, shotgun. And they're over there now, drunk, partying, and one of them's got a shotgun. Call Larson, tell him we'll meet him at public safety, and we'll go there now. Hey, we need to go to that house. Apparently pointed a shotgun at one of the guys at his house. There are 4 guys there getting drunk, and they called from the residence.
Village Public Safety Officer Alex Cheney knows most of the locals here in Oscarville.
You know where that is?
Yeah.
You can get us there?
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. That lady is screaming. Yeah, I got it. What's going on?
He's in there. He's going psycho.
Does he have a gun?
He was loading it when I ran
out.
Okay, right now?
My mom's trying to keep him.
How many other people are in?
Just my mom.
Yeah.
And what is it? Shotgun, rifle, handgun? Shotgun?
Was he threatening to hurt anybody?
Yes.
Who?
He stood over her loading a shotgun, and that's when I ran out.
Any other guns in the house? Are there any other guns? What kind? What kind?
It's a black gun with a scope.
Is it a pistol or a rifle?
It's a rifle.
It's an M16? Okay. Hold on, Sarge. He said it's an M16. So I'm assuming some sort of an assault rifle.
Okay, because we're way undergunned on this
We are
one.
way undergunned.
You got 2 windows.
But the troopers are seriously outgunned. They're only carrying their standard issue pistols.
Because we were on caribou patrol, so we don't have long guns with us. If we could get some long guns down here, it wouldn't hurt my feelings one bit. Are you sure? Ah, damn it. All right, bye. He can't break.
He's on a suicide call right now.
Okay, this is an emergency. We need your help. I need you to go around to all these residences, stay out of line of sight, and tell everybody to stay inside. Do not come outside. Is that the school, or what is that?
That's the school.
Okay, we're going to tell those guys to keep everybody inside as well. All right? And then we need those kids to stay in the building. They can't come out right now. That's not a safe situation.
Cresswell tries calling the crazed gunman,
No luck. He's not responding.
then tries the woman trapped inside.
There's thrashing around going on. Do you hear it? Phone doesn't work.
The line's dead, and the house goes scarily quiet.
This is not a win situation right now. I'm just worried about that back side of that building.
I know. I'm going to go this back way and work my way to that red building right there. I'll have a clear shot, and we'll be able to keep him inside.
I'm not going to move until I see your eyes.
Somebody's mom is still in there.
Hey, stop! Get this way!
We have a dynamic situation here. Window. Stay back.
Is he in there?
That's not a safe situation. Whoever's in that building right there, just open that window, and they have a long gun with a scope on it.
After an hour-long standoff, more gunpowder arrives.
Now I want you to go around and what you need to do that. He knows we're here. We're not in a good position. I'll come in here and I'll watch these windows. And then you guys enter. Just stay out of that freaking doorway. The alcove? Here, just grab that.
Come on out!
Underneath the house, Mike. Underneath the house.
Put your hands up. And so we can see him. Now! Got a gun!
Get back. Right now, get back.
Pointed at and going straight towards you guys. Let go.
Get everybody out of in front.
Let go of the gun now.
He's got it by his head. Dude! Hey! Stop! Move the gun. Keep his finger off it. Stop! Put it down. Stop! Put it down. Put it down. It's not worth it. Put it down. Please, put it down.
Got a hand on it.
Put it down, please.
Let go!
Got pointed at his head. It's under his throat.
Hand wrap around the trigger.
Okay.
Let go of the gun.
Please.
Let go. Let go of the gun, dude.
Please, put it down. It's not worth it. Put it down.
Give us that arm. Give us that arm. Come on. You got it, Todd?
Got it. Now get Todd. We'll get here. Mike, you in here. That's all right. All right. He's secured. Go. You got any knives on you? Nothing else? Come on, stand up.
Troopers rush to check on the woman.
Come on out.
How you doing?
No, I'm not going out there. I'm cold.
Come here.
Cold. What?
Stop.
What I do?
Stop resisting.
I didn't do nothing.
Stay right there.
House is clear. All right.
Yeah.
You have anything on you? What was in that pill bottle?
That's illegal.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
Hey.
Without my permission, what am I being charged with?
Misconduct's weapon. You're drunk and you had a firearm.
Seems like you are retaliating against me.
Just relax.
You think I'm stupid?
Working in Western Alaska is not always predictable. Today was a good example of that. We're headed out for caribou patrol. And we ended up in a neighboring village trying to coax somebody with a gun out of the house. Just because we're wildlife troopers doesn't mean that we're not trained to deal with more conventional types of crime. But out here, the key is just to be flexible and improvise. There's really no way to know what's going to happen from 1 minute to the next.
Just south of the busy city of Anchorage, beyond the natural barriers of the Chugach Range and Cook Inlet, lies Alaska's Kenai Peninsula. A scenic maze of sleepy villages and backwoods homes, the Kenai is home to both seasonal vacationers and residents with deep Alaskan roots. But this area still has more than enough action to keep Trooper Howie Peterson busy year-round.
The scenery, the mountains are spectacular. You're still kind of out away from everything. It's a smaller community, and you see some odd things. Keep your hands out of your pocket. Did you just pee your pants right now?
Yeah.
You're diabetic and Indian?
Yeah. And Indian.
What's that got to do with smoking weed?
Can I get a ride, guys?
You're going to be in handcuffs, though, in the back of the car if I give you a ride.
Why handcuffs?
Because I don't trust you because you're a liar.
This area is famous for the epic gold rush that began in the late 1880s and lives on today.
The gold mining community in Alaska is something new again. This is where you have city slickers that come in and think they'll make money, or the typical old-timer that's lived out in the woods for years. That's your new gold miner.
And over 100 years later, that independent Alaskan spirit is still very much alive, making Trooper Peterson's job constantly challenging.
Usually it's just me, out and about by myself. And most of the time it's out in the middle of nowhere. You meet guys out here that are characters, and those are the ones I enjoy talking to. The weirder, the better.
On this warm fall day, Trooper Peterson is on a routine patrol on the outskirts of the town of Hope.
They made this road because of mining, because it's a big mining community back here. A lot of people go back here and hike and camp and hunt. This is kind of really peaceful out here.
But a mysterious 911 call soon takes him deep into Gold Rush country.
Spring suspicious vehicle about 5 miles down Palmer Creek Road.
Sold out in a 52 and 23, the area of Palmer Creek Road. We just got a 911 call. It's coming from a cell phone. We don't know anything more than that.
These hills are rife with hunting and mining trails, and the distress call could be coming from anywhere.
The reception's really bad up there, so it was a call and then it went dead. So who knows what it is. At 52, I'll be out with that pickup truck. It looks like an old Ford pickup truck, mile 6.2. It's having engine problems or something. Hey, how you doing?
Not bad.
Looks like you had better days.
He finds one of Hope's modern-day gold prospectors, and he's not thrilled to see the law.
Is there something wrong?
No, we were told that you might be having problems back here, and I come back to check on you. Do you need any help from me at all? Any kind of assistance?
No.
Okay. What's your name?
None.
Your name's None?
Leave me alone. My God, all I want to do is go home.
Well, I don't blame you.
If you're going to arrest me, arrest me.
Well, why would I arrest you, sir?
Well, because I'm probably breaking every law.
I gotta ask you a few questions here. Were you driving this vehicle while you were intoxicated?
I'm tired of talking to you.
Well, I'm here to find out. I'm not done tired of talking.
Trooper Howie Peterson's seemingly simple call to a stranded prospector in the Alaskan backcountry quickly takes an unfriendly turn.
Let me ask you this, partner.
There you go. I'm good at this.
How come you're good at that?
The man's erratic behavior raises Peterson's suspicion, so he searches the vehicle.
Is this what you drink right here? What is this? Is this your flask? Yeah. What are you drinking?
Anything in it?
And the man doesn't even have a driver's license.
So why are you driving around without a license anyway? You tell me.
I haven't had a license in 30 years. What are you going to do? Give me a ticket for no license?
Don't you think it's better to have a driver's license than not?
Why would I?
Why would you? Exactly. That kind of seems to be the reoccurring theme with you. You don't have a driver's license, you don't have insurance, and you're drunk.
Sure. I'm not drunk.
Peterson administers a field sobriety test to find out.
And then just keep your head still and just watch it.
Sure.
Don't look at me. You're not going to play this game.
It's not easy to do this.
I know. But you can do it. My 6-year-old daughter can do it. Count backwards. Start at 69 and count to 54 backwards. Can you do that? Can't do that either?
Who could?
You can't count backwards?
Can you?
Yeah. Why don't you turn around for me? I'm going to place you under arrest, okay?
You're going to throw me in jail, huh?
Now, I'm going to place you under arrest for suspicion of driving under the influence.
Driving?
Turn around or I'll put you turned around myself, okay?
No problem. Can I, where are we going?
Well, I'm going to take you over to Girdwood office.
My God, Girdwood.
Woo! Mother load here, huh? Is what he's been drinking out there?
Trooper Peterson secures the evidence, then takes the man for a long ride back to the station.
What are you doing, that kid? Why don't you stick that up your... Let's see how it looks.
Back at the Girdwood post, Peterson gives the man a breath alcohol test.
I'll hold it. No. I'll hold it.
Oh.
Just seal your lips and blow till I tell you to stop.
That's what
It's going to
he
be a
said.
continuous breath. Okay.
He blows over the legal limit, so Peterson takes him to Anchorage to sober up in jail. This suspect pleads guilty to misdemeanor DUI and driving without a license and spends 5 days in jail. His fines of almost $2,000 are still outstanding. Alaska stretches over 650,000 square miles. Almost all of it intractable wilderness. Even the most populated areas are bordered by rugged, isolated nature. Out here, fleeing suspects can easily disappear in the dense underbrush and slip away into the wild. The possibility of escape means some criminals here are willing to take extreme chances.
It's never a routine stop. When you pull somebody over, you just don't know what you're going to find or who's going to be behind the wheel. You treat everybody as armed just because it's Alaska.
In the Matsu Valley, troopers like Abraham Garcia must stay vigilant at all times. It can be a matter of life and death.
After a while, when you start doing this, you start seeing the way people react when they see you, the initial looks that they give you, or they start walking away from you, or they immediately, try to look the other way, try to look inconspicuous, and that automatically, it's just alerts you.
And all too often, they end up in a foot chase.
As soon as somebody runs, all these senses start coming in, kicking in, and you start thinking, try to figure out why he's running, trying to think ahead, trying to see, well, what did he do that he doesn't want to get stopped? What does he have on him that he doesn't want us to find? You always think before you go into a situation, because if you go into it not thinking of consequences or what might happen, or if you do need backup, then you might get yourself in trouble.
On this evening in the Matsu Valley,
Mac 31 will be turning onto Main Cell.
Trooper Garcia is hunting an armed and dangerous man.
He's got 3 different warrants and for a total amount of $25,000. A lot of the troopers out here in the valley know who he is and have been looking for him. Last time he ran on foot, I think they had about 4 or 5 troopers with the canine after him. He's gonna run, and I'll probably be right behind him. I wasn't able to run after him last time. I was in civilian clothes, but it's a little bit different now. I've got some employees and other people looking out to see if they can find him. He's been spotted several times at a certain store. Looks like he normally comes in about 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
Garcia arrives at the convenience store early to check in with his lookout and quickly spots a suspicious vehicle.
What's your name? Stay right there, man. Stay right there. Put your hands behind your back.
It's the wanted man, and he's got a gun.
Hey, what are you doing, man?
Don't do that.
Stop. What are you doing?
Don't do that.
Stop. Hey, what are you doing? Stop.
Stop resisting.
I'm not.
Put your hands behind your back.
I will.
On the ground now! On the ground now! Let me see your hands! Get on your stomach now! Get on your stomach now! Or you will be tased!
Okay.
Get on your stomach now!
I'm there.
Get on your stomach now!
Okay. Please stop. Please stop.
Where's the gun?
It's gone.
Where is the gun? Is that what you were reaching for?
It burns. It burns.
You don't want to do that. Yep, Crowley. You don't want to do that. You do not want to do that.
Please. Let me get on my stomach. Let me get on my stomach.
Put your pee out straight. No, he's not going to do it. He's not going to listen to me.
I will. Okay. I can't breathe.
Relax. Mac 31, 1068.
I can't breathe.
Yes, sir.
I can't breathe.
Give me the other hand.
Please give me air. Can you take my head off? Water.
I'll get you water. Stop. I will get you water, but you need to stop like I asked you to when I first started, right? Oh, I'm burning too, so I don't want to hear it.
Please.
Still need another unit. You tried to kick me. If you would have listened to me when I asked you to stop, we wouldn't be in this position.
Please help me.
I need your help here. I can't see with my left eye. Let's pick him up. He had a gun somewhere. Oh, there it is. He was reaching for his gun.
Some water, please.
Garcia tries to wash away the pepper spray he was forced to use to disarm the assailant.
More. Please. Out.
You tried to pull a gun on me. Now you want me to rinse you down?
I was trying to get rid of it. I was.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God. Damn it. Stand up. More.
Let's put him on that side so you don't spit on me. You'll be able to breathe. You just don't, so you don't spit on me. I'm burning too. They're the same as you are. You know, it was painful. He had more OC on him than me. I think I got it mostly on my left eye and my mouth. But at that point, I was concentrating more on taking him down, apprehending him. During the struggle there, I felt his holster. He continued to reach in the middle. Eventually, the firearm fell off, and he took off running. Where I was able to catch up with them, especially with him, and the history we've had. I would definitely have other troopers with me at that point.
Nice stop, man, but you gotta wait for somebody.
It wasn't a stop.
Contact them.
It wasn't a stop. I was coming over to talk to her and let her know to call me because he said she showed up at 8. I just pulled in here, and that's when he saw me coming.
They charge the assailant with 3 counts, including resisting arrest. He's currently in jail and awaiting sentencing. Miles west of the mainland, in the middle of the Bering Strait, lies a frozen world beyond the last frontier. The island of Little Diomede, Alaska. Heavily guarded by unpredictable weather, just getting close to this part of the planet can cost you your life. Diomede is one of the most remote villages in North America. Closer to Siberia than mainland Alaska, here polar bears straddle the line between the U.S. and Russia, which is just a 2.5-mile walk across the frozen Bering Strait. A dangerous adventure that can land you in trouble with Russian law. It's an outpost in a land of outposts, but the law must still be carried out. And here, the law is a 5'5" female trooper named Aileen Witrowski.
It's just me when I go out to Diomede. Just me.
Diomede has been an Ingalikmiyut fishing village for centuries, and its 107 inhabitants insist on clinging to their ancestral lands.
I think the people on Diomede are really connected to their homes. A couple different times they were offered money and tried incentives to move off the island to mainland Alaska, and they declined it. That's home, and they're not moving.
But Diomede is still part of Alaska, and when someone in the village breaks the law, Witrowski must bring them in.
Logistics are a huge concern out here. If someone ends up getting arrested, I don't have a holding facility, so I have no place to put anybody. I usually don't arrest them unless I know that the airplane's coming. Alaska has a pretty high rate of airplane crashes, and we're in airplanes a lot. Yeah, I've been in scary situations. There's always a potential for something to go awry when you're in the village by yourself.
Trooper Witrowski is stationed in Nome, Alaska.
Paradise! This is paradise.
100 miles below the Arctic Circle. But she still patrols arguably the most remote village in the entire United States.
I'm the trooper oversight for Diomede, and I haven't been there for a while. We could spend one night there, or we could spend 4 nights there. Kind of depends on what Mother Nature has in store for us.
Today, Trooper Garrett Frost is accompanying Witrowski to transport an unregistered sex offender back to Nome. But getting there won't be easy. In winter, temperatures can drop to -50. And the frozen Bering Strait serves as Diomede's airstrip.
Welcome to Diomede, Little Diomede.
Yeah, the ice jungle.
Yeah, with the wind, it's probably 50 below right now.
So are you gonna work in law enforcement where you land on the Bering Strait on ice? We're sending ice on the Bering Strait, and you're only what, a couple miles from Russia?
We're gonna go to town. This is our taxi. This is my patrol car.
With just one flight a day and no holding cell in town, troopers must arrest the unregistered sex offender quickly and get him on the plane before the weather changes for the worse. Up here, there aren't many places to run.
It's not like they can run away, but they can hide. I mean, it's their home court advantage, so they can hide, and, you know, some people do.
But they're confident the man is home. The plane waits on the frozen sea while they try bringing him into custody.
Well, I got a level with your... I got a warrant for you. I got a level with your... I got a warrant for you. Trooper Frost is going to take you back to Nome today, okay?
Fortunately, the sex offender doesn't put up a fight.
We gotta get him back to the sled. We're gonna put him on the back of the snow machine here. The plane is waiting for us to take off.
Trooper Frost takes the suspect back to the airstrip to make the 60-minute flight back to Nome, and Trooper Witrowski stays behind.
If I'm lucky enough to know ahead of time that I need to bring somebody else with me, then I will. Most of the time, I just respond out here by myself. It's in a unique position because I don't have a holding cell. I really don't have anything out here.
Since she's only out here once a month, Witrowski takes time to check in on the rest of the village.
Did you miss me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm here to keep an eye on you. Take it easy. Hello, how's it going?
Diomede is home to 107 mostly Inga-Likmiyut Eskimos, whose native tongue was once spoken in Russia. Just 2.5 miles away across the frozen Bering Strait.
There's the international date line, so they get a little upset if people go across there.
Local legends describe people crossing over and mysteriously disappearing.
Historically, people, for some reason, they look at the map, it looks like it's doable, so they try to go across, back and forth. They know that Russia doesn't appreciate that.
But on this village visit, Trooper Witrowski isn't only concerned with criminals. She's on the lookout for a dangerous element of a different breed. Polar bears.
I heard chased one. Didn't get it, and then chased one too.
These hungry half-ton predators venture into town looking for food.
That there behind me is about a 7-foot bear, which they just caught recently. It's a female bear. I was about 3 weeks ago when my cousin caught the bear just about 30 feet from here. We do eat the bear meat, but it takes, in order for us to eat the bear meat, we have to cook it for at least 4 hours only.
Roughly 20,000 polar bears roam the Arctic, a population on the decline partly due to melting sea ice. Today, only Alaskan natives are permitted to hunt the bears in the U.S. Polar bear attacks are rare, but to keep kids safe, Diomede has adopted a 9 o'clock curfew. And with just 4 hours of daylight in the winter months, resident Henry Solak is on polar bear patrol.
I look out for polar bears in the morning. A couple weeks ago, I got 3 of them right down here, right by the snow machines. 8:40 in the morning, and the kids were going down to school that morning. Last year I counted about 15 on the drift ice. When they come in close to the village, we had to end up killing them.
After a 24-hour visit, Trooper Witrowski heads back to Nome.
Yeah, it's always good to go home. Always good to go home. But, yeah, the planes here are going to go back to Nome and thaw out. Well, I think it's upstairs yesterday, about 50 below.
Deadly cold and vast distances are just some of the challenges troopers face when bringing justice to these lands. But even in the warmer months, the terrain still poses severe hurdles, even for the most experienced members of the force. And in this hunter's paradise, where hunting ranges are larger than a number of U.S. states, big game attracts big-time poachers. And wildlife troopers are the only law enforcement around to regulate both. And that's where Trooper John Simeon comes in.
I've never been an office person. I get in trouble for never being in the office. I'm an avid outdoorsman. I love being outdoors. My main patrol area is the Copper River Basin. You're going to see grizzly bears, black bears, moose, everything, every imaginable wildlife, goat, Dall sheep, bald eagles, everything flying. It's an amazing place to work.
As a wildlife trooper and a native Alaskan, Simeon takes his duties very seriously.
Big game animals, if we don't allow them to breed for the next season, we won't have hunting. We won't have the natural resources that we need to survive. Being an Alaskan native and a native Alaskan as well, it's kind of a clash between my customary and traditional upbringing along with the Western culture, combining the two. It's a little difficult once in a while, but it's just another way to adapt and overcome.
On the job, Simeon uses his unique relationship with the land to diffuse even the tensest situations.
When we're out checking hunters, you know, it's a sticky situation because a lot of the hunters are working very hard to get their resource. It's tough to go into a hunting camp, and when hunters have been out for 5 or 10 days and they haven't seen a legal animal, and tell them they have to comply. And the type of people we're meeting, everybody has a gun. Not only one, they probably have 2 or 3. I mean, it's any wildlife trooper who walks into a hunting camp and doesn't expect to see 4 or 5 guns, he's on the losing end of the battle already.
Today, Trooper Simeon's patrolling the fall moose hunt, just south of the Denali Wilderness.
Good moose hunting country, some great caribou hunting country, plus some of the best trail riding you can do on an ATV.
He's covering 500 square miles of rugged tundra, and both the game and the hunters are on the move.
Caribou love to move in the cold. It triggers their mating time, so hopefully we'll get a lot of contacts today and we'll see a lot of people out trying to get their animals. We're specifically out just to contact those hunters who have an illegal animal, giving them the option to turn themselves in first and make the right choice.
But the Little Nilchitna River stands between him and the hunters.
It'll be really exciting going through. You lose a lot of four-wheelers coming through here. is. Yeah, it's a little deep.
It's not long before Simeon spots his first game animal, albeit a small one.
In our native custom, if you see a porcupine, you have to kill it, or else it'll go and tell all the other animals you don't need it. All we do now is we touch it and let it know, I could have taken you, but we're letting you go.
This porcupine gets off with a warning, and Simeon sets his sights on his next target.
We're just dropping down the steep portion of it, what everybody refers to as monument. In the rain and the mud, it's really hard going down it. Really steep, lots of loose rocks.
And the fog makes this ride even more dangerous.
You drive up into the fog, there's drop-offs on one side. If you're not familiar with the country, you go for a long ride with a very abrupt stop in the bottom. Hold on. 20 miles an hour with the brake on.
Safely at the bottom, wildlife trooper John Simeon contacts his first group of hunters.
Okay, well, let's take a look at the meat.
That's easier said than done.
So, all the meat is where, you said? Where's the hind legs? That one?
One leg over there.
One leg over there?
Yeah.
Okay, one leg. Two leg. Where's the front legs?
Front leg.
Now we need one more front leg. Yeah, that's back leg. That's back leg?
Yeah, back.
Right there's another back leg. And we need one more front leg. Right here, right there. Okay. Where's the manhood on it? Where's its...
What's it?
Where's the sex on it? Where's the... Which one? Oh, yeah, right there.
Yeah, like that.
Did you eat this one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cut it open.
And barbecue.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Laos.
Laos?
Yeah, I am Hmong people.
Hmong?
Yeah.
So what do you call moose then?
Moose. That's
just moose?
That's moose. And there we call Malu.
Malu?
Malu.
See, I'm Alaskan native. I'm from Alaska. We call moose Dunduvak.
Oh, hard to say.
Yeah. You know, your language is hard to say. Mine's easy.
Your language hard to say. My language easy. No?
Congratulations, good animal.
My language say thank you, Ocho.
Ocho?
Ocho.
Mine is Koyana.
Oh, hard. What?
Everything's in order, and Simeon counts this day as a success.
There's that saying, a bad day in the field is better than a good day at the office. I never have bad days. I'm always in the field.
Every day, throughout the wild expanses of the 49th state, where nature is top dog. And any call could lead to a shootout. The Alaska State Troopers must use their cunning and skill to bring extreme justice in the extreme land. They are the first response on the last frontier.